Sorry, my laptop's a little slow. Okay.
We're doing rumors, specifically just Marvel related, and then we get in, we get out, and we predict the things in the future. That's it.
All right. So, hey, folks, welcome back to the channel. I am joined by Chillmonger for the first time. How you doing, man?
Hi, I'm doing well. I didn't know I was live when I asked you that question. I was like, hey, what's the rundown?
So, yeah, I got 5 topics I'm sure you're probably familiar with. But first, want to introduce yourself. How long have you been how long have you been working on your channel?
It's been since 2019 in January, so my birthday is coming up for my channel.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
then I cover a lot of Marvel stuff. It's been a really hard 5-6 years right now of just trying to get there slowly. Every now and again you'll get that bump that will launch you and start putting you on everyone's homepage, and sometimes not so much. And it's it's a struggle. But I don't hit live unless I enjoy what I'm talking about, or if I feel like I can further something. So that's my, that's me. That's me in the 30 seconds blurb. I don't know why I'm stuttering. I don't stutter this much. I'm sorry, Joel.
No worries. Actually, this is like my first year, like really streaming. I've done my first stream this year. I hit 500 subscribers this year. So I've had a lot of opportunities and just luck on my channel. And I'm just so grateful to have you on and some other people too. Yeah, so let's jump right into our first headline. To me, let's see, something accurate right now. So I don't think it's confirmed yet, but I've read some stuff that Chris Evans is in fact returning to the MCU. I think it's just a rumor right now. I think it's a little bit desperate, unless it was a plan all along to have him back in the fold. I know the Russo brothers are set to return to direct Avengers Secret Wars and Doomsday, which is a right thing to do, I think. It's just there's a lot in the air, and I don't know if fans are going to be welcome again this time around. Your thoughts?
I think they'll be more welcome of Captain America returning than having somebody else call himself Captain America, and to the desperation of it. So it wasn't the plan. They killed the character of him and Iron Man character. They both got sent off with the intentions that we Marvel Studios can still make a lot of money with the characters we have. Our storytelling powers is unmatched, unrivaled, and it was at the point. But the Black Widow didn't make what it needed to make. And of course there's an excuse for that, right? We all know what happened and how it released on Disney Plus for $30. But then, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, damn, that thing only grossed 800 million. Like that, you would think that by then the Guardians brand would have been really high. The Thor brand, it did all right. The Doctor Strange brand, I think that was a $900 million movie. These are all right, but you're thinking that you guys can make that $1 billion like just like you did with Iron Man and Cap, and nothing grossed $1 billion except for when Spider-Man had all 3 of the Spider actors back, and unfortunately, Sony got 75% of that box office. So when you see that, yeah, of course, this is a reaction to their poor planning. They never intended for Steve Rogers to be off the field, because if they didn't, they wouldn't have done what they did at Endgame.
Yeah, so from what I've seen on the internet, if he's set to return, if the rumors are true, he's supposedly going to be either a Hydra sort of character or Nova, something like that. So again, like I said, it's up
Nomad. You mean Nomad?
Nomad, yeah, that's right. But back to what you were saying, this is not wasn't planned, and I think
you got to agree with me. It wasn't planned,
right? I just think that it's not Kevin Feige who's doing this, who's really pulling the strings. I think it's Bob Iger is. I'm sure he sat down with Feige and said, "Hey, we need to go back to our cash cow."
Yeah, probably. You had 3 years. We tried it your way. Listen, let's just go back to what works for us. No more experiments.
And I mentioned this recently to someone that they have Marvel right now. They have been. I mean, they have too many eggs in their basket. I wasn't fully on board with their whole idea of having these Marvel shows started, having all these characters introduced, and what's canon and what's not.
Oh, yeah. Moon Knight. When's that ever been referenced in the last 2, 3 years? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
with you. Too many
Exactly.
eggs in the basket, but if I was in charge, I could have the same amount of eggs in the basket and it would have worked. They just didn't mix things. We got Kamala Khan. She was in a movie. We got what happened to WandaVision was very relevant to the Doctor Strange movie. There's a
Yeah.
couple of examples, but Secret Invasion and all the Skrull stuff did not matter. It's never come up.
The only two standout shows to me were obviously Moon Knight. I liked because of Ethan Hawke's performance in there, um, and
And She-Hulk.
Oscar Isaac, obviously, and Hawkeye. I liked that. I liked that it was not overdrawn. It was a small little series, 6 episodes. And I just like that. But
So you like
yeah,
the character of Yelena Belova and Kate Bishop Hawkeye?
yes, yeah.
How do you feel about Thunderbolts?
Based on that trailer I saw, it was like 2.5 minutes.
Mhm.
I'm excited for it. The humor has shown. David Harbour is obviously going to be a standout. Florence Pugh's in there, and so yeah, I'm excited about that.
So
I
with
just don't
Florence
want it.
Pugh's name, with Ethan Hawke's performance, I can tell what you like, what you're looking for is a little bit different than what I care for. I think because I'm like the characters. Black Widow is Black Widow, and then there's the secondary Black Widow. We all know who Hawkeye is, and then there's the secondary Hawkeye. So I'm
Mhm.
going into it like it's at a huge disadvantage with me. But you're more so, what is the story, and how will the acting be performed? Is that what you're
Yeah,
looking for?
I think so. And so obviously, you have a knowledge. I'm sure you're big into comic books. You have that knowledge
Yeah.
going in to
Before I
these.
started YouTube, I got that Marvel subscription service called Marvel Unlimited. They
Mhm.
put every comic they've ever put out all there for a monthly fee. And I was reading through everybody's origin, all the key stories in between. So I'm pretty good. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, but I'm in the top 10% of
Yeah.
readers.
Now, is that subscription? Is it digital? Is
Yeah.
it like a digital thing?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm excited for the Thunderbolts. And I just read recently that this Captain America movie, which is scheduled to be released in February, is having some reshoots. And I'm like, what are they doing? I mean, how many more reshoots are they going to have? It was first of all, the movie was already delayed about a year, and that because of reshoots. I mean, they added um, what's his name?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Giancarlo Esposito. And now we're hearing this news. We're 2 months out from the movie, and so
Yeah, we
I
hear this
I'm
news.
I'm
We hear
rooting for it.
reshoots and re-edits, and then Captain America's coming back. So you got to figure that Steve Rogers is going to be in the post-credit scene of this.
I
Maybe.
just hope, I hope it, I'm hoping, wishing for the best. I want this movie to succeed. Um, yeah, just people got to show up. I don't have an issue with Anthony Mackie being our new Captain America. I think, he's got the charisma. He's got, what I think he has what it takes.
I see it as I want to use his charisma and what he has, what it takes to launch a character. I want him to do that under the brand Falcon instead of adopting someone's name
Okay.
who we just learned. Chris
Mhm.
Evans is back, so we're gonna get Cap, like Steve Rogers Cap again.
Mhm.
Let's do something that elevates your brand in the long term. It's always everlasting. You
Right.
as Sam Wilson, the character, you will always be known and synonymous with the term Falcon, who part time temporarily donned the Captain America likeness, but you're a Falcon. So let's spend resources on bringing Falcon up so that we look at him eye to eye with the other heroes.
Yeah,
Not eye to eye
exactly.
with Hawkeye. He's above all Hawkeye, you know? Let's get, but eye to Thor, eye to eye with everyone else. So we all know Ant-Man, Hulk.
Yeah, and I've heard some chatter is like, okay, if he's super strong, did he take the serum at some point? Like,
You want him to take the serum?
I mean, I'm assuming he's gonna take the serum at some point in the movie or something similar to it.
Or they force it on him?
Yeah, but like back to the trailer. The trailer, I really enjoyed. Very in the vein of, it reminds me of something like what Secret Invasion was going for. A lot of stuff behind the scenes. But yeah, I like what I saw. I'm sure that's not everything that's being shown in the trailer. Yeah. Speaking of Captain America, I have yet to finish Captain America and Winter Soldier, the show. I will have to revisit that. Yeah.
You got like 2 months, so you're good. You'll have enough time to watch it, and it'll lead right into it. I hope, if they do it well. It's the same screenwriter, so it'll probably lead into it.
Okay. Yeah, and I believe there's a character that's in the movie that was in the show too, I think.
The U.S. agent?
Ezekiel? No.
Oh, Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley. Is
Yeah,
that?
so watch the show and you'll know who he is.
Okay. Cool. Alrighty. So we have John Doe Juggalo. Let's see, we have let's get into our comments. We have Salute Dark and the Man in Yellow. Herp Minded. He's a very interesting YouTuber. If you haven't checked
no
out,
one should subscribe to him. Nobody. Everyone should unfollow if you already are following Perp Minded. Boo.
Do you guys disagree on something?
Yeah, we disagree on everything. He can't even get the color right. This is green, okay? Maybe I'll give you neon.
That is so funny.
What color is a tennis ball? This is a tennis ball color. I got tennis ball color. Do you ever say, oh, the tennis ball is yellow? No, we say it's green.
That tennis ball looks a little darker then. And we also have Josh from Beyond the Grave Media. Very, very heavy on the horror genre. If you want to check out his channel, Beyond the Grave Media, I'll leave some links below to their channels, along with Chillmongers as well. I'm sorry.
Sheila's colorblind. That's an inside joke. What are you talking about? What are you... Change the subject. Let's get rid of the comment section. Can we disable comments for this stream?
Absolutely. All right. So speaking of Captain America, we are moving on to something you might be familiar with. Denzel Washington has been cast. I don't know if it's official, but I think it is. In the next Black Panther film. I don't know specifically what kind of role he'll have, but something tells me he's gonna be. He looks, obviously, to me, it's obvious might be a villain. I could be wrong. Definitely, he'll be someone close to T'Challa. I don't know. I could be wrong. Thoughts?
You don't know who they're gonna be, and they don't know either. Ryan Coogler is writing a part for him. So the story was decided, and then let's squeeze in a Denzel Washington character here. I don't think it's the right thing to do. It can still work though.
That'd be nice. I want to see that team up. Ryan Coogler, Denzel.
The way that we got this news announced was Denzel was advertising Gladiator, and he was telling them in Australian's Today Show. He said, "I've got a part by Ryan Coogler that he's writing for me, and then I got this other part, and then I retire." And he just kind of like blurted it out. Recently, a day ago, I saw a headline: Denzel had to apologize to Ryan Coogler, and he called him to apologize. And the reason I remember that so vividly is because underneath that tweet from Discussing Film, I said Ryan Coogler should apologize for killing T'Challa.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a real news story. So it actually happened, and that's the plan. They could have creative differences or scheduling conflicts, and maybe he won't end up in the MCU. But so far, Denzel Washington is to be in Black Panther 3 when that comes out in 4 years from now, 3 years from now.
Oh my gosh. I see Denzel in having a role in Black Panther 3 and it being just a one-off. I don't see him being long-term MCU canon. None of that. No, this
Too
is
old to be
just
long term because actors die respectfully. They get aged out, and or something happened with their memory. Bruce Willis, so you can't really schedule long term with an actor that age. He's almost 70.
yeah, just like the MCU. They're right now they're in a bit of a pickle. I've noticed their little habits. They'll introduce someone in an end credit scene, and just they're gone into obscurity. I don't know, but just like I can name some. Well, Jake Gyllenhaal died off, obviously, in one of the Spider-Man movies, but perfect example being in She-Hulk. We had a scene in which we got introduced to Hulk's son or
Yeah,
something like that. It's just little things like that make us, scratch our heads. Like, okay,
there's a wow factor and a surprise that comes with big star actors like Harrison Ford coming in, and then there's the wow factor with just these characters that maybe somebody knows. Hercules showed up at the end of Thor: Love and Thunder. Yeah, it didn't really register, and I'm sure that's why we're not seeing Hercules in anything since then in the last 3 years.
no, they need to rethink their strategic plan. I don't know if this is true. It probably is. We're gonna get like a full, introduction to the X-Men after the Avengers movies. Some people don't like that.
Yeah, Secret Wars has to happen first. Now, remember, Kevin Feige, the president of the studio, worked on these X-Men years back.
Mhm.
These are his X-Men. So he's probably, I just got a message. He's probably going to try to use them, his own X-Men, for one time in his Secret Wars crossover variant movie. And then he'll start going, okay, long term in this world, the universe that we are stuck in now, where no more variants and no more multiverse stories are, okay, that's where X-Men are. But for now, he's like, I get a chance to use Kelsey Grammer as the Beast. He's not going to give up on Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, the X-Men are just a whole, you know, different ball game.
No, totally different than the Black Panther franchise.
Yeah,
But the Black
absolutely.
Panther franchise, got to give them credit. They did this on their own with
Mhm.
that first movie, and then with what Chadwick was able to do when he played T'Challa in Civil War, where he
Mhm.
debuted. There's
That
a
was
lot of
me.
stuff that they themselves did without help from another studio.
Mhm.
Them using Denzel, yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it being that next big thing to keep the franchise going on. I think the best thing to do is you recast and you have Black Panther back. But Denzel could play. There's like some mystic people from Wakanda on that side, and there's a guy named Zawafari. There's like this guy named Changemeyer, who's sort of a mentor to the throne type dude, and he's older, that
Mhm.
Denzel could play.
Mhm.
And then there's just the possibility for the villains, which everyone wants him to be Achebi.
Mhm.
I'll, if you give me a second, I can share my screen and I can show you him.
Okay.
Basically, the Joker for Black Panther, the Joker.
That sounds interesting.
Okay, so there's actually a real life guy named Achebi, so I have to say Achebi Black Panther to find it.
Mhm.
This is
Okay.
what he looks like. Here's some images of him. He's just the smiling voodoo, or not voodoo, but like freaky type of guy.
See if I can add it to the stage.
See that? That's who he is. I can see it happening. Like you wanna entice this great actor. Hey, you're gonna be this
Mhm.
extractic. What's the word I'm looking for? But like you're a villain who's very out there,
Mhm.
eclectic. That's the one I wanted.
Ooh,
Eclectic villain.
that would be a cool role for Denzel. That would be cool.
Villain is the way to go. It's got to be villain.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah. veteran actor like him, for sure. So I don't know if anyone asked you. I'm sure you had this discussion already. Who you would want to be? Should the MCU recast
Oh, the Black
T'Challa?
Panther should be Aldous Hodge. If you ever watched Cross on Amazon Prime, he did a good job.
I
And
know
then
who you're
there's
talking about. Yeah.
Damson Idris. I think he's like 33 or 4 right now. So he's
Mhm.
old enough. At the time when Chad first died, I didn't
Mhm.
factor him in. But yo,
Yeah.
he's getting up there. So he can actually play the hero now. And
Yeah.
I'm also not picky either. Whoever they want to cast, whatever level of experience that guy has, whether he's American born or from somewhere in the African continent, I don't care.
Mhm.
As long as you are recasting, I'll be pleased.
Right. And so let's say someone does get cast as T'Challa. So technically it would be T'Challa's son who would be this next Black Panther.
No, I want a recast. I want
Okay.
him to be alive again. Like the same way people died in the past and now they're back. Remember how Thor had eternity and then he could wish someone back into life?
Mhm.
I want T'Challa back. Or I want Secret Wars to end. And are you familiar with the Secret Wars comics?
Somewhat.
It reboots, and I want the world to be rebooted. Now T'Challa is alive. He never died in the first place. No son, because that son is just not going to be here again. He's not a
Mhm.
reoccurring character. We know the Hulk is reoccurring,
Right.
Superman, all these reoccurring characters. And you're telling me
Yes.
that the greatest black superhero that there is, we're gonna just put a substitute TJ in his place, and then he'll be gone. And that's stupid. That's a waste of resources.
Speaking of Black Panther, I think if Ryan Coogler is coming back to direct a third film, I can see Michael B. Jordan back, even if it's just
Oh,
for small cameo.
yeah, because he's in every Ryan Coogler movie, even Space Jam
That's
2.
that too.
You remember that Space Jam cameo? So they were in the locker room and they were like, "We need Michael
Yes, yeah,
Jordan. We got Michael Jordan." He's
Michael
like,
B. Jordan.
they said, "I want Michael A. Jordan."
That is funny. All right, so moving on from Black Panther to this is an oldie, but it did occur this year. Robert Downey Jr. has announced he is returning to the MCU, not as Iron Man, but as Doctor Doom. A lot of people were up, like the idea. Some people did not like that idea. I personally think it was a bold genius move that could work. It will. I think he'll be front and center, get the fans back to the movie theater and start this hype train. Did
Thanos
you?
was the star of Infinity War. He had the most
Mhm.
screen time.
Mhm.
Maybe Thor did, but he had one of the most screen time. Okay, he
Mhm.
was the main character of Infinity War, so they say.
Mhm.
This time around, I think that the main character of Doomsday will be the villain again one more time, and they'll actually like go deep into it.
Yeah, and I just want to put out there that there's been a few Doctor Dooms that have not succeeded in on film. You go back to that recent Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, and there was a Victor Von Doom in there, and they didn't really do much with him all too much until it was too late.
Doesn't that help though? Because there's not this standard that's an impossible standard.
Yeah, and now that this Doom character, MCU has the opportunity now to really set the tone and really bring this guy onto the big screen the right way. It's in their their court now.
You
Yeah.
like that he got the Oscar? Do you think that's gonna help? Like they sell it to a new audience. Remember this dude from Oppenheimer? Well, he's back in Marvel. He's gonna stretch his acting chops one more time.
So I'm thinking about the superhero fans, the ones that have been here since day one, who showed up to the Ironman premiere in 2008 and have been here long since Endgame. I'm thinking about those fans, and I think they'll show up. Obviously, they'll show up to see what this new Robert Downey Jr. is in this new role. What they're gonna get. There something's cooking. I mean, yeah.
Sure, something's cooking. I got a theory that you're not gonna like. This isn't really Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom. Iron Man is coming back, but they realized at the convention, oh no, we want fans to be surprised Iron Man's coming back, but somebody is gonna take a photo of Robert Downey on set. Like, there's no way we can hide this. So we'll just tell people Robert Downey is there, he's on set, and he's playing Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
When we watch the movie, we'll see Doctor Doom is actually a masked character, like he's supposed to be, you know. Mm-hmm. And Robert Downey was really just there because he was playing Tony Stark Iron Man. Oh, you don't like that one? I would love that one.
I get what you're saying, but from a fan's perspective, who show up to pay the movie ticket, they're like, "Wait a minute, I didn't what?" I think this would cause an outrage.
So fine, to be fans, honest,
but I get what you're saying.
If you don't want to lie to your audience, mm-hmm. Robert Downey will play Doctor Doom. He'll be the guy in the suit, while he's all masked and stuff. It'll be Robert Downey. So he never lied. He is playing Doctor Doom. So you got what you got. What we said you were gonna get, and no one's really upset if Tony Stark is back.
Mm-hmm. No. I mean, he's the one that's gonna be in the front of everything. Just like he was in the front of Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Yeah. They're gonna, by the time these movies come out, Doomsday and Secret Wars, they're gonna make bank. But I don't know if they're gonna make that billion again. There's just a lot of work that has to be done.
Yeah, I think the brand that's Avengers is $1 billion brand because it made $2 billion for Infinity War and Endgame, mm-hmm. and it's going to be advertised well. They'll gross $1 billion.
Oh, you're probably
we should make a bet. So wait, you're saying not $1 billion, but are you saying it'll only be 950 million? Is that what you're saying? How much are you thinking it's going to be?
I'm doubtful right now. In the state of MCU, we're not in 2025 yet. I'm just doubtful right now.
So then give me a number. It's one thing to say it won't reach $1 billion. All right. How much money will the movie gross? Doomsday. Summer of 2026.
Summer 2026. Oh gosh. Well, like 800 or 900 million.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's in the ball field of $1 billion, but yeah. So you're saying it'll go beyond?
Yeah, it'll be $1 billion, and depending on how good Fantastic Four is received and some of these other things, then I'll get closer to what I think the number will be. But it will reach $1 billion. It could be $2. It really could.
I got to show you this comment right here from Perp.
Alonzo Harris.
Alonzo Harris with voodoo powers. Oh, yeah. Yes, bring it on. Yes. I don't know if you had the chance to see Gladiator 2, but I like Denzel in that movie.
I didn't see the movie, but I heard.
Okay. Yeah, so let's see what topic next. So I don't have a topic to go run off to next, but we could talk a little bit about the project in 2025.
Project 2025.
Fantastic Four. We're getting a brand new film in 2025, summer 2025. Your thoughts on it?
Of the 3 films next year, Fantastic Four for Marvel is my most interest. But
Mhm.
Superman Legacy is
Yes.
gonna bully them out of their release dates. They're gonna feel the pressure eventually. It's coming. As soon as that trailer hits, they're gonna say, "Ooh, okay. How about August?"
Yes. Oh man.
There's nothing wrong with August.
August. August. So did they both come out? Superman and Fantastic Four? Is it June or July?
They're both July. They're 2 weeks apart, unless I'm wrong.
Okay.
But from my memory, that's how it is. And the Fantastic Four movie, man, they don't got the momentum. I don't want to see Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards the way they think I want to see him as Reed Richards.
Right. What did you think of John Krasinski? That
It's cool.
little
Yeah,
as
well, it
Reed
was good. It was good as a fan because he's been fan cast, and
Mhm.
it's like the studio listened, and it was only a cameo role. You
Right,
couldn't go
right.
wrong with it.
I liked him, while those minutes while he was on screen.
Yeah,
He didn't have a big presence, but still, it was nice to see him.
they did what a variant is supposed to do, and that really like enhanced that movie for me. And Deadpool and Wolverine did it also. Each time that Loki has done, sorry, go.
Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. First of all, I like Pedro as an actor, but this will be his first outing in the MCU, filling some big shoes, really big shoes. But let's hope they made the right decision.
He's a talented actor and he can do it. So, and it's
Yes.
called acting for a reason. It's really just me going, damn, I see him in everything else.
Mhm.
This guy as my Reed Richards, ugh. But yeah, I'll watch it. I'm sure I'll buy his performance. I'll be fine with it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. So I think you're right about the shifting of the release dates of Superman and Fantastic Four. Because let's face it, Superman is already starting to with the marketing. We got to try. If the rumor's true, we might get the Superman trailer might debut next week,
Uh-huh.
and there's already a little sprinkling of marketing here and there. So they've already started the race. And aside from that, Fantastic Four has already wrapped filming. So yeah, I think to me it seems like Superman has the lead in the race. But we'll see what happens. There's two big
It's a
brands,
race. They're both equally high budgeted. They'll be pushed with major studios, Warner Brothers, Disney. It's very equal. So we'll see what wins. Like this will be a really really fun race to see.
and I think in the next couple months, Marvel's going to have to step up their game and give us at least a teaser to this Fantastic Four already, because this 6 months, we're 6-7 months out.
We're due. 6 months is about the time you get teasers usually. I remember watching the Endgame teaser on December 10 maybe. So I think it's time. Oh no, not it wouldn't. That actually doesn't. That would mean January. I'd have to wait till January.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think we ought to get at least a teaser by the time New World Order comes out.
Yo, think about football. You're in America, right? I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So in America, the Super Bowl is the most watched thing. You want to have something for 30 seconds to play during
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
yes,
February.
definitely. And I think we'll also get Jurassic Park Rebirth trailer, if not teaser.
Well, all the trailers should release before the February Super Bowl game, but
Mhm.
you should be able to clip a 30-second for the Super Bowl.
Absolutely, yeah.
Money well spent, because if your trailer doesn't play in the Super Bowl, you just seem like you're a minor leaguer. Like you actually do have to
Mhm.
have it. It's mandatory. So drop the $500, or sorry, I'm making up a number. I don't know exactly how many thousands or millions it is, but
Yeah.
drop the money.
Okay. Do you have any topics at the top of your head you want to Marvel related? Want to just get out there off your chest?
Well, let's talk about Blade. Let's talk about how in
Yes,
2019 at Comic-Con, Mahershala Ali came on the stage.
it's
They
ridiculous.
said, "Who are you gonna play?" He put on the hat. It said Blade on it, and
Yes,
And we went, whoa, what a surprise. Because leading up to that weekend, that was not reported in a single place. So they got us with the surprise. Now
Yes.
with that surprise, and plus he already have a slate. Oh, you can see like the next 3 years. We probably knew, all right, it's not coming in 2019. It might come in 2023 or something like that. But we got surprised. It's been that long. It's been 4 years. This movie has not been shot, and we keep having creative differences.
Absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of creative differences, it's like who's rejecting these scripts? Who's the directors? We're losing directors on over this. It's not that difficult. I mean,
The writer's strike was an excuse. The
okay.
COVID break was an excuse also.
Hmm.
What now? What's the next excuse going to be? Because November of 2025 is not happening anymore, and there's
Oh man.
no rescheduling. I
And
want them to get it right. Don't get me wrong. Get it right. It's important. But
right.
yeah, but like get it also. Do it.
The last thing we heard about Blade was that it's still it's still happening, or it's not, but not in 2025.
He might have said that at the Brazil convention. That's when Feige said that.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's what I heard. Um, the materials there. Obviously, there's comic books to go off of, ideas. You have the actor. Get it, even if it's a stinker, just get a director on board, start filming.
It is that simple. No, I agree. It's very easy to do, but they don't
Yeah,
want to do it. And I think they're waiting for Mahershala to just say enough. I'm gonna go do Jurassic World, and then they'll recast, if you could even call it a recast. But they'll cast somebody else to bleed Blade, and they'll just say, "Yo, you're gonna be part of the Midnight Suns group, and it'll be a TV show on Disney Plus."
ooh. Yeah, I heard about that Midnight Suns this year. Yeah, but like he's a big part of it, right, Blade?
Yeah, he's the biggest part of it. He's the biggest star of it. But I don't want Midnight Suns. There's just
Mhm.
a status that you have when you have your own titled movie, and that's what I want for this character.
Right. I think a lot of people have been tired of show after show after show and just want one film, one MCU film to go see. The people don't really have time to watch, week to week. People, want one weekend where they can go see a big blockbuster from the MCU. I think that's like that whole mentality of people nowadays.
The next thing you want me to bring up that I have to bring up,
Go
the
for it.
Kang situation.
Situation with
So
Jonathan
listen, man.
Majors.
Listen, Jonathan Majors, great actor, great talent, but he's playing a race swapped character, which I don't support. But I support the individual regardless. All right, and he was
Mhm.
done dirty by Marvel the day that conviction came out. There was no nuance. There was no thinking about what happened. His conviction, mind you, I think he's completely innocent, but his conviction said he was guilty of unintentionally assaulting the girl he was dating. And we
Uh-huh.
all saw the video of her chasing him down. If you haven't seen it, I don't know where you've been.
Uh-huh.
He was definitely the guy who was the victim of a abusive thing. The taxi driver, he testified. He said she was doing it all. He wasn't doing anything.
Mhm.
They said no, we're gonna get rid of him. And it's terribly sad. He's been asked about it. Kevin Feige was asked by Screen Rant, and he just said, "I'm gonna avoid the question."
Yeah, MCU, they're looking out for themselves. And right off, they just wrote him off and just let him go completely without, them looking into the looking into the situation. And so the last thing I heard about Jonathan Majors, his like the charges were dropped, right? He's all good now.
Yeah, after the criminal case, she herself filed a civic lawsuit. Okay,
Mhm.
that was dropped. That was settled with prejudice. She could never bring up the terms again. I think he settled it. I know he settled it, and that doesn't matter at all because it's never gonna come back in his history. She's not pursuing it. you don't have that monkey on the back. He's got a new movie in magazine Dreams that we're expecting a
That's
trailer
right.
anytime now.
Yeah.
It'll be early of 2025. And then he's filming the movie Merciless.
Okay, so he's slowly making his way back to,
Yeah. It
being
helps that
back
Magazine Dreams was
in this
already filmed.
position.
They just didn't push it, or they just didn't release the movie because
Yeah,
I, don't know, I
right.
guess it was pending and stuff. The lawsuit was pending. So it's good that he had that.
Yeah, it's kind of a sad situation, you know, letting him go, just losing his losing the role to Kang, for obvious reasons, and and at the same time, it hurt his image too. Yeah,
And no studio,
in his
no
career.
major studios picking him up. He has to do a movie with Cliff Entertainment. Good luck. How it performs though, and us, the customers going to the movie theater paying for tickets, that's gonna show the studios the general public doesn't view him as some persona non grata. He is viable. You can cast him in your movies. He's fine. Sony will be the first one to bite because they did a Will Smith movie, The Bad Boys, right after the Oscar stuff. Sony doesn't care. They don't seem to care the way that Disney seemed to care, because even Disney don't care. They tried to get Johnny Depp back for Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, then why
Yes,
did you fire him in the first place, huh? If what he did was so egregious, nothing changed.
and he ended up winning that case with against Amber Heard. And
Yeah, the American one, he won it. So does that mean like you changed your mind? What's going on? If
Mhm.
you get rid of your actor for some reason, it has to be because you're sure what he did was wrong. Don't go with, oh, public sentiment. Yeah, they're anti Johnny Depp. What about now? Oh, they're for Johnny Depp. Yeah, okay, we'll get him back. No, you gotta have a moral line in the sand that Johnny Depp crossed that you can't ever return him for.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
Or James Gunn.
a
With
shame.
remember what happened with James Gunn's tweets?
What
That was the
was it? I
thing.
forgot what that
Oh,
was
well,
about.
10 years before, so probably 2010, 2011, 2012, there were a lot of tweets James Gunn made on his account that were inappropriate, wrong, not funny,
Mhm.
and harmful, but he got fired for it in year 2019 or 18. Huh? That was
Oh
stupid.
yeah, yeah, and he got hired back, right, to
Yep.
direct.
You know why? Because Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista said there's no Guardians 3 without that director, and
That's right.
they were forced to change their mind.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of James Gunn. I know what he's capable of. Obviously, just basing it off of the Guardians and how those turned out.
And
So far,
Suicide Squad,
yes, yes, and now he's in charge of this other brand. Kudos to him, and I have all the faith in the world that he'll bring DC, the DC brand back to life. And Creature Commandos. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. Creature Commandos just dropped on Max. Yeah, I don't
I
know if you've
haven't.
I don't know if you've read. Probably haven't read the comic books. No. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. It's an exciting time right now to be a fan of the comic books, and a lot of projects are in the works.
That's what's exciting. What's in the works? The last 3 years have been rocky. There've been some gems, but what's coming up? Superman and Fantastic Four, Avengers are returning. Yeah, possibly a recast of T'Challa. We got reasons to be amped. And then there's the Naruto movie, which, are you a fan?
What is it?
Naruto.
Anime? Is it anime?
Yeah, I guess you're not a fan. But there's other things happening, like the Avatar movie, the Blue People movie Avatar. And now that I think of it, Nickelodeon, they're doing a whole movie that's animated featuring Aang, and he's a lot older. So there's a lot of things to look forward to.
Mhm.
Cross from Amazon Prime, that will get a season 2. I just have to remind myself that there's some good stuff coming out.
There is definitely. Um, uh, Craven the Hunter just released in theaters today, and I I've heard some really bad reviews, some really bad stuff about this movie. That is as bad as Madam Web or worse. But
I didn't watch Madam Web or Morbius or Venom
Mhm.
2 or Venom 3. I've always gone, this is not the Spider-Man stuff. They got
Mhm.
me for Venom. They got me, okay? They haven't gotten me since. Have you seen Madam Web, Morbius, and are you going to watch Craven?
I had the chance to watch Madam Web, Morbius. I wasn't a fan of the Venom movies, part mainly because I thought Tom Hardy was miscast. He hardly had personality on screen.
Mm.
It's just it didn't work for me. That wasn't the Eddie Brock that I wanted to see, and I did have a chance to see The Last Dance, Venom: The Last Dance. I liked that little ending idea that Eddie was going to go to New York, just maybe run into Peter Parker. I don't know, but I don't think we'll ever see
But
that.
we're not gonna, because the newest development coming out of Sony is no more Spider-Man less Spider-Man movies. Good.
I would be okay if we never saw Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock ever again in the MCU. I
Yeah,
would be fine with that.
I would totally be okay with it. He got a little
Mhm.
cameo in the No Way Home film, right? He was in the end of it. Good. Good. Hey, you counted. You were canon. You were part of the universe, and then you left the universe. He
Yeah.
might do something in Doomsday or do something in Secret Wars, and that'll be a good little send off for the character.
I don't know if you've paid attention or not, but there's been a lot of news lately coming out about Spider-Man 4, starring Tom Holland, and I just think a fourth, Spider-Man. I think will it be okay? It'll be Marvel, right? Not Sony, not Sony Marvel. Okay,
It'll be what they all were. They were both Sony and Marvel. 75% is funded by Sony.
okay. I just think it's not necessary, but it's just like a filler for now until we get closer to the Doomsday and.
Nah, see, this is what I think is it's not a filler.
Mhm.
You're familiar with Battle World? For any of your listeners, Battle World is when every universe is completely gone, and the only place that exists in the multiverse is Battle World. If they do that in Doomsday, that's how the movie ends. I
Mhm.
want a movie in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, which will be that Spider-Man film, and it'll
Oh, that's
show
right.
me the Battle World ongoings. And if that's the plot of Spider-Man, yeah, you
Mhm.
can get Venom appearing there because everyone from every universe is eligible to live on Battle World, and you might actually get the Sinister Six fight featuring Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire back playing Spider-Man. Get freaking Donald Glover to play a Miles Morales grown up version. You can do whatever you want to, but we
Yeah.
do need a movie in between to show us, okay, how exactly was Doomsday such doom? Pardon the pun.
Yeah. Yeah. Spider-Man 4 is set to be released after Doomsday, correct? Yeah.
And before Secret Wars.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So that it's kind of a necessary step. It's not a throwaway. It would be something to display the gloom that has happened between two movies.
Do you think we ought to get another? Do you think we need another Doctor Strange movie, or they should add him to Spider-Man 4?
I think Doctor Strange, money wise, he's made enough money. You talking creative wise, there's more story. I'm entertained by Benedict Cumberbatch version. Yes. So for every reason, he's not one of those franchises you need to cut off
Mm-hmm.
to make room for X-Men or something. You keep him around. They do 3 movies a year. You got space for Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And aside from that, there's been some talk too about another Thor movie, which I don't. I'm against that. I think we've had enough
Ooh.
solo Thor films.
I think he's pivotal. Like he's one of those big
Okay.
stars of Marvel.
You're right. You're right.
Would you
Yeah.
be okay if they delayed it a little bit longer instead of coming out in 2026 like they or 7, it came out in
Oh,
2030?
I think so. I think there's tons of stories to tell. I'd be fine with that.
Because there's been too much. I look at it like Chris Hemsworth is a young man when they casted him, and he can still perform. He can still make that body do what the body is supposed to look like.
Right.
You don't waste those years, I say.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure he'll be in Doomsday and Secret Wars, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? When do you think who that villain, Fantastic Four villain, will be introduced?
Probably in the Fantastic Four movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they don't gotta jump the gun there. It's already happening in another universe. You didn't know? The Fantastic Four movie is not in the MCU. Some other Elseworld stuff is gonna happen. I guess maybe that's where the first incursion will go on, and we'll start eliminating universes.
Galactus. I think that's what I'm talking about. Galactus.
Galactus? Who's playing him?
Some older actor. I don't know his name.
Okay, I'll search. Ralph Inson?
Okay.
No, yeah, Ralph Ineson. Ralph Ineson.
Ralph Fiennes. I don't know.
I can share my screen. I don't know why I'm doing this. Here. This is the actor. He's 54. English actor. What do you think of? Oh, share it. Present and then share screen.
I think he'll do a fine job, but I'm sure he'll just be a voice actor, right? Because I could see Galactus just being this hulking CGI character.
Yeah, I could see it. It's just a voice. So whatever you do, just sound good. Try it out. Take multiple takes, and we'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
As a YouTuber who's edited things in the past, yep, you just do the voiceover. You hear it later on. You go, this doesn't sound right. Let me get the mic back, and let me just repeat my words.
Yeah, I think it'll be like the same situation as Josh Brolin as Thanos. Like he'll be that.
Yeah.
That type of role. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with if we're going to get a Young Avengers project in the works. I think that I've heard that might tie into this next Spider-Man movie. I don't know.
And I'm not interested in the Young Avengers. I told you, anything secondary, I'll always look down on.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but there's just things that I do need. You've got the rights to the X-Men, you've got the rights to Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. The Sony company just told you they don't want to do other movies. So let's increase the output of Spider-Man. Tom Holland should be doing a movie every 2 years, if you can, figure that out.
Right.
X-Men, they're very large of a team.
Yes.
You could have multiple mutant teams under that banner and have a film every year with the X-Men. And if that's too much, then a film every 2 years, okay? They're the X-Men. Give them a TV show, build a mansion where they can shoot on set. Yes. They can use the mansion for the TV shows, the movies, because it's a set. So invest in the X-Men.
Absolutely.
I'm not looking at Young Avengers at all for entertainment value. No, not a bit.
Even if Kamala Khan's going to be,
no, even if she's going to be part of it, I don't care. I know she's not a major part of the thing. We're all going to watch Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. We really think Kate Bishop is going to be a factor, huh? Or Patriot?
Yeah.
How do you
feel about Daredevil getting in the MCU on Disney Plus? How do you feel about the show coming back?
I'll tell you how I feel about it. The same way I feel about Skeleton Crew. Some of the episodes are short. Mm-hmm. If Daredevil has 20, 25 minutes, I know we're getting 18 of them, but the episodes are too short. Mm-hmm. You with me with that one? You feel like sometimes episodes are unsatisfying when they're short?
Yes and no. It depends on the show itself. If it's something brand new and the first episode is 55 minutes, I don't know if I want to invest my time with that show all the way, if that makes any sense. I don't know, but
That's
Yeah,
true. But
I
as a person who is invested, that doesn't bother me.
I will if they're 20 25 minutes long. Yeah, I mean that'll go by. Those go will go by in a quick. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna like seeing Daredevil alongside. We're gonna have Punisher's gonna come back.
Yeah, that was a surprise they didn't need to leak out, but Foggy and Karen are back, and that's good too.
Hmm.
And then you got Kingpin back. It's the show. It's the like the next phase of that Netflix thing.
And
Good,
they're not gonna hold back. It's gonna be just as gritty as it was on Netflix. I think.
because they were shooting it initially and they stopped to reshuffle things around. Somebody decided back then in the middle of filming, we got to change it.
Hmm.
Good. And that's desperation. Eh? That's not that cocky. We can do anything. We're Marvel. That was very telling.
Yeah. Do you know when if there's a release date yet for Daredevil?
There is
I know. It's,
Daredevil Born Again, March 2025.
oh, that's coming up.
How much longer you want to stream for?
I think we can end it here. Yeah, that'd be cool. If it's cool with you.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Thank you so very much for joining my co-host and I, Chillmonger. I will link his YouTube page down below. Thank you guys so much very much for watching. Thanks, man, for joining me. It's been fun.
Yeah. We can do a collab on my channel. I don't have an idea yet, but I'll message
Mhm.
you on IG.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk about this offline.
Okay. Okay.